Last week, the Cajun Dome missed out on a $50,000 subsidy, but tonight, the council extended its financial ties with the Dome as they entered into a 5-year contract. Renee Allen will have more.
St. Landry Parish is one step closer to picking a school superintendent. Doug McDermott has the story.
And you can never be too careful when it comes to your child's safety, but a new survey says parents are making some big mistakes. The story straight ahead.
This is KLFY 10, Acadiana's multimedia news station. Connecting you now.
Hello, Acadiana. I'm Chuck Hughes.
And I'm Darla Montgomery. Thanks for joining us. For nearly 3 decades now, the Cajun Dome Convention Center, Lafayette's largest landmark, has been a huge economic contributor, and following tonight's consolidated government vote, Lafayette will continue to see its economic impact.
Tonight, council members extended their financial ties, agreeing to subsidize $100,000 for future capital expenditures and $500,000 for utilities and other operational expenses.
Only one councilman voted against it. News 10's Renee Allen was at that meeting. She joins us now in the studio with more. Renee?
All involved parties were present tonight. The director of the Cajun Dome spoke about what would happen if the subsidy wasn't approved. Then the LCG Council threw in their concerns, but when it was all said and done, the ordinance was passed.
District 3?
Yes.
District 4?
Yes.
District 5?
Yes.
District 6?
Yes.
No one was short on words tonight as the ordinance to subsidize the Cajun Dome was brought up for discussion.
I'm always willing to hear ideas for another funding source.
Was LCG asking for anything greater than what we were already given?
Chief Administrative Officer D. Stanley reminded the council that LCG financed 1/3 of the dome's construction with a 1/3 liability obligation. If there's a need for a major repair, LCG could be liable for 1/3 the bill. Last week, the council turned down a $50,000 subsidy increase for the Cajun Dome, opting to give that money to an interstate cleanup project.
They are certainly going to operate within their budget as they do every year, and they've made some hard decisions just as this government has.
Councilman William Terrio voted against the Cajun Dome contract. Terrio says LCG has other monetary obligations to consider.
In my opinion, these monies can be used to subsidize the fire department personnel. And again, it's a priority in what this council thinks where it should be.
Cajun Dome Director Greg Davis was at the meeting. He says if the subsidy is not given, it won't quite be business as usual.
The Cajun Dome will not close. We will still operate, but there will be a major focus on profit making and less of a focus on civic activities and economic development and those kinds of things.
The 5-year contract's effective date is September 23rd. Now, there is a termination clause in this contract. This allows LCG to back out of the deal if need be. Live in the studio, I'm Renee Allen for KLFY Multimedia News.
Thanks, Renee. It's been a long time coming, and now St. Landry Parish is one step closer to getting a new superintendent. 5 candidates were interviewed by school board members in front of the public.
News 10's Doug McDermott was there and has more on how tonight's meeting went. He joins us now live in the newsroom with the latest. Doug.
Thanks, guys. Each of the 5 candidates not only sat in front of members of the St. Landry Parish School Board, but the public as well, and they made their pitch why they should be chosen.
All 5 candidates vying to be the next superintendent for the St. Landry Parish school system had their chance to show the board they're the right person for the job.
The experience necessary to assume the duty and responsibility of the superintendent of this great system.
Interim Superintendent Joseph Cashmere is one of 3 applicants who are currently in the system. William Duplachance, principal at Port Barre High School, and Edward Brown, the supervisor of child welfare and attendance in the central office.
If we expect more from our students, we're going to get more.
Parish has been near and dear to my heart. I've been educated in St. Landry Parish, and I'm in my 39th year.
The 2 coming from outside St. Landry Parish both have experience working in recovery school districts. Daniel Rawls, who is retired, and Charles Michel, who is supervisor of special education in Lafourche Parish.
There's a broad base of experience.
That's one of the things I love about education. There's no shortage of paths that we can take.
Board members were impressed by the candidates and know that whoever gets the job will have a serious uphill climb.
The ideas are great. It's being able to take those ideas and make them happen.
But they all agree whomever their choice is must have only one focus.
The main focus is about children and no personal agendas, just children and educating children.
The board will reconvene next Wednesday and then will eliminate each candidate via each vote. Then they will vote on the last two remaining. Reporting live in the newsroom for News 10, I'm Doug McDermott.
Thanks, Doug. Well, many are anticipating the arrival of those cooler temperatures, and it's not long in coming. For a look at what you can expect for the rest of our work week, here's live Doppler 10 Storm Tracker meteorologist Chris Cozart, who is filling in for Chief Meteorologist David Paul. Chris?
Thanks a lot, Darla. Yeah, those people that are waiting for those cooler temps are going to feel it tonight and then really feel it for Thursday morning. Temperatures now in the mid-70s and mid to lower 70s, 74 at the airport, 76 down New Iberia as well as Lake Charles, and then lower 70s for Fort Polk and Alexandria. We reached mid-80s this afternoon, really when the sun came out and those clouds started to thin out. So as you can see, not any rain there on satellite and radar, and any clouds that are out there are coming to an end. So we're going to see a clear sky overnight. Some people across Acadiana will be in the upper 50s to start that Wednesday morning, but a beautiful day in store for Acadianas. We'll see highs reaching just the lower 80s with comfortable humidity levels as well. And this great stretch of weather will continue really for the rest of the work week. I'll have all those details coming up. Let's head back to Chuck.
All right, Chris, thanks a lot. Eyewitness News obtained court records today that indicate the man who was shot earlier this month by a St. Martin Parish Sheriff's deputy is a convicted felon who obtained a pardon for his crimes from former Governor Kathleen Blanco. Last Wednesday, 32-year-old LaQuinton Green of Opelousas was shot by a St. Martin Parish Sheriff's deputy who was responding to a 911 call at a house in the 1100 block of Salt Mine Road in Breaux Bridge. Deputies arriving on the scene say Green was shot when he confronted them with a pistol. In 2003, court records indicate Green pleaded guilty to felony drug charges in St. Landry Parish and was placed on probation. 3 years later, those same court records indicate Green applied for and was granted a first offender pardon by then Governor Kathleen Blanco. Green, who remains hospitalized, has yet to be charged with anything. The state police, who were called in to handle the shooting, say the case is still under investigation.
Meanwhile, 2 people are in the hospital following an early morning vehicle crash in St. Landry Parish. The accident happened on Highway 190 in Eunice. A tow truck owned by Laverne's Towing was traveling east on 190 while a white Buick was attempting to cross the highway. That's when it was struck by the truck. The driver of the Buick has been identified as 23-year-old Terrence Jones, and the passenger was his 8-year-old daughter. Both were taken to an area hospital by AirMed and are in critical condition. The crash remains under investigation.
A $30 million renovation project for 6 Lafayette Parish schools is up for approval. Tomorrow, the Lafayette Parish School Board will review a list of proposed renovations, expansions, and repairs. The schools are Green Tea Linden Elementary, Youngsville Middle, Lafayette High, Northside High, L.J. Alamo Middle, and Thibodeau Tech Magnet Academy. The board will also consider the architectural firm to be used for the project.
For decades, the Acadiana Center for the Arts has helped pump creativity into Lafayette Parish classrooms. In the past, the services were funded by Title I federal dollars, but due to budget cuts, that funding has been trimmed, prompting the school board to strike a contract with ACA. $165,000 is needed to keep programs like the Touring Arts Program and others in parish schools. They're hoping a new contract will extend the program even further. ACA's education director says they want to bring in arts educators to do residency work inside the classroom to help students who might not learn solely through textbooks.
They're working hand in hand with the teachers to be able to focus on things that maybe students are having a little bit of trouble understanding, and the teaching artists can come in and try to teach that in a new way.
The contract is up for approval at a school board meeting tomorrow night. Residents of Grand Coteau are mourning the loss of Mayor Henry Pierre. Pierre died this morning after a battle with cancer. Mayor Pierre began his term in 2010. Funeral services will be held Thursday at St. Charles Church on Church Street. A viewing will begin at 9 a.m. and services will follow at 11. Pierre was 71 years old.
Today, Congressman Charles Bustani visited with small business owners in the hub city.
And Mitt Romney is trying to bounce back after comments to campaign donors became public. We'll have the story later in this newscast.
TV 10.